Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're venturing into something really ambitious, I think, a vision called Electric Technocracy.
Yeah, one of you actually shared a detailed document outlining it. And, well, it definitely got us thinking.
It really did. So many questions, we just had to unpack it with you.
It's quite the blueprint, isn't it? Forces you to consider some really fundamental shifts in, how we might organize globally. The scale is impressive.
Absolutely. So the core idea, imagine ditching the whole nation-state system. Gone. Instead, you have one single, unified global administration.
And guiding this whole thing is artificial superintelligence, ASI.
Right, and this is key. It's not an AI dictator. The concept positions the ASI as more of a neutral, super smart advisor.
Uh-huh. And keeping it all accountable to the people. That's where direct digital democracy, or DDD, comes in.
Exactly. So our mission today is to pull out the key pieces of this, well, this quite intricate idea.
We want to give you a clear grasp of what Electric Technocracy is proposing, the essentials, without getting totally bogged down in every single detail.
Think of it as your shortcut to getting informed about this potentially revolutionary future.
Precisely. We'll look at the structure, the economic model they envision, the tech needed, and critically, how individual freedom fits in, or doesn't.
It's a tailored exploration, really, into one specific and pretty unique vision for what's next. Okay, so where do we start? The structure of this state.
Makes sense. Moving away from nation states.
Yeah.
That's the bedrock, right? What does that really mean in practice?
Well, the big thing is replacing separate, often competing countries and alliances with just one global administration.
Which immediately makes you wonder, how could something that massive actually work fairly for, well, everyone?
And that leads us straight to the artificial superintelligence. It's really central. But again, the idea isn't ASI as a ruler.
No, it's framed as this incredibly intelligent, impartial advisor and administrator, almost like the ultimate analysis engine.
Yeah, like a tool, a very, very powerful tool.
The document lists its key jobs: constantly crunching global data, economic, social, environmental, you name it. Looking for patterns, potential problems.
And not just finding problems, but developing solutions to multiple scientifically vetted solutions, apparently, considering the long-term effects.
And it gets even more advanced. It would run simulations, forecast outcomes of different policies, like a massive what-if machine.
Plus the admin side resource allocation, planning infrastructure projects, all aimed at maximum efficiency, cutting through human red tape.
Okay, but in AI, this powerful oversight becomes absolutely critical, doesn't it?
Hugely critical. And the proposal acknowledges that. It suggests several layers of control.
Like what?
Defined ethical boundaries the ASI can't cross, monitoring systems, watching what it does, and crucially, a human-in-the-loop requirement for major decisions. So humans still have a say at key points.
That human element seems important.
There's also talk of guidelines that can adapt, continuous monitoring, feedback loops, and this really interesting idea, a separate watchdog AI.
A watchdog AI, so an AI watching the main AI.
Exactly. Totally independent. Its only job is to monitor the main ASI for any glitches, biases, or, unintended consequences.
So that's quite a concept, a layered approach, trying to anticipate the risks of superintelligence.
It seems so, acknowledging the complexity. But alongside this powerful AI, you've got the citizen control part.
Yeah.
Direct digital democracy. How's that supposed to function?
Right, the DDD. So the process starts simple. Anyone, anywhere, can submit an idea.
An idea for a policy, a project, whatever.
Yeah. Then it goes public. People collaborate, discuss it, improve it, refine it. A global brainstorming session, almost.
Okay, then what?
If an idea gets enough support, they call it reaching critical mass of approval, then the ASI steps in again.
Take it over.
Not exactly. It reprocesses and optimizes the idea. But here's the interesting bit. It doesn't just pick one way forward. It develops multiple approaches, different scenarios, based on the core idea.
So it presents options.
Options, yeah. And those refined proposals go to a worldwide online vote. Everyone gets a say.
Secure voting, maybe using blockchain as mentioned too.
The intention seems clear. Maximum global participation, right? From generating ideas through to the final decision.
And this model explicitly gets rid of political parties and professional politicians.
Which is a pretty radical departure, the argument being they become unnecessary.
If you have direct citizen input and impartial AI analysis, maybe you don't need the intermediaries. That seems to be the logic. Bypassing party politics, ideology, potential corruption.
The stated goals are efficiency, fact-based solutions, sustainability, and maybe even eliminating the conflicts, the wars that often come from political divides.
It's a bold vision for governance, certainly.
Yeah.
Very streamlined, very rational,
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely rational on paper. Okay, shall we shift gears to the economic system they propose?
Yeah, let's do that, because the document talks about a huge economic transformation too, right? Driven by things like nuclear fusion, advanced robotics,
Yeah.
leading to resource abundance.
Exactly. This idea of abundance is key. It underpins a whole new way of thinking about the economy, especially taxes.
Right.
Well, the proposal basically says, forget income tax, forget sales tax for humans.
Really, so
Yeah.
no taxes for people,
Not directly. The main revenue source becomes what they call a technology tax.
levied on the technology itself.
On the AI systems, the robots, the automated companies, the idea is that's where the productivity gains are happening, so that's what you tax.
Okay, that makes a certain kind of sense, taxing machines doing the work.
And that tax revenue funds something crucial, universal basic income, UBI.
Ah, UBI. We hear a lot about that already.
But here, it's presented as a fundamental right, not just a safety net, but a baseline income for everyone paid for by that technology tax.
Enabling people to do what, if basic needs are met?
Meaningful things, supposedly. Pursue interests, education, creativity, community work, stuff beyond just surviving. This ties into the vision of a post-scarcity economy.
Which depends heavily on energy, right? They mentioned nuclear fusion.
Yes, fusion is positioned as the key enabler. Nearly free, unlimited, clean energy. That's foundational for producing enough for everyone and running all the automation.
So, if energy is abundant and production is automated, what happens to work? Human work.
It transforms. The document paints humans as idea generators.
Idea generators.
Yes, you collaborate with AI, you have an idea for a product, a service, whatever. You give the AI a prompt.
And the AI does the design work.
Develops optimized designs, figures out materials, then sends the specs to automated factories. Robots build it. Production on demand.
Wow. Okay. So, from idea to finished product, largely automated.
Even marketing and sales could be handled by AI platforms, it suggests. Augmented reality might even play a part in the design process, making it more intuitive.
And sustainability is built in.
Supposedly. The AI calculates the most sustainable materials and methods. The whole focus shifts
From global competition.
to global cooperation. In this unified world, with ASI managing resources for shared prosperity, the theory is that destructive economic competition just fades away.
It all sounds incredibly interconnected. Which brings us to the tech itself. This whole system depends on some serious technological breakthroughs, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just one magic bullet. The document makes it clear it relies on a whole suite of advanced technologies converging. These are the pillars holding it all up.
Okay, so what are these pillars? Lay them out for us.
All right, you've got artificial intelligence, obviously, scaling from artificial general intelligence, AGI, human-level AI, up to that crucial artificial superintelligence, ASI.
Then robotics and automation.
Yeah.
Makes sense for the economy bit.
Quantum computing is in there, blockchain for security, nuclear fusion for energy, longevity technologies, we'll get to that, and VRR, virtual and augmented reality.
Quite a list. Let's touch on a few. ASI is clearly the big one. Its role seems immense.
Vastly exceeding human intelligence, that's the idea. For complex problem solving, strategic planning, scientific breakthroughs, optimizing everything.
But that raises the alignment problem again, right? Making sure it stays beneficial.
A huge challenge. The document acknowledges the need for ethical programming and control. Research is ongoing, of course, but it's maybe the biggest hurdle.
What about quantum computing? How does that fit in?
Its power could be revolutionary for complex simulations like modeling climate change or economies optimizing the AI itself, drug discovery, material science, even justice and security applications.
But it also breaks current encryption, right?
Exactly. So the document notes the need for quantum-resistant cryptography alongside it, a necessary countermeasure.
And nuclear fusion, the energy source.
Yeah, presented as the potential game changer. Unlimited, clean, safe energy, essential for that post-scarcity vision and just powering all the AI and automation.
Okay, and blockchain. We mentioned it for voting.
Securing votes, transactions, ensuring transparency in how things are run, building trust in the system, potentially.
Plus, you need the infrastructure. Global communication networks, massive data analytics.
Right, for real-time resource management, super efficient supply chains, and integrated AI monitoring systems for cybersecurity, watching for threats in this incredibly connected world.
It's a technologically dense future, which brings up a huge question. What about individual freedom in all this?
Yeah, with an ASI managing so much and advanced monitoring,
Hmm.
where does the individual fit? How are rights protected?
It's a crucial point. The document does emphasize self-determination. Freedom in your life choices, your body, your opinions, your lifestyle.
As long as...
As long as it doesn't endanger others, that's the stated limit.
And the ASI itself, is it programmed with ethics?
The proposal says yes. A foundational commitment to human dignity is supposed to be core to its operating principles.
Okay. What about privacy? Data.
Measures are mentioned. Digitally shielded private spaces, secure communications the ASI supposedly can't access. Transparency, too, seeing how your data is used.
But does the ASI still have access to a lot of data overall?
That's a key point. It seems so. While human access to other people's data is meant to be strictly controlled, the ASI needs broad access to perform its functions. Resource allocation, planning, problem solving. There's a tension there.
Definitely a tension. It raises ethical questions. Programming the ASI's ethics, preventing total surveillance becoming total control, stopping any potential abuse of power. These are massive challenges.
Huge. And the document goes even further out, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Into things like singularitarianism.
Yeah, the idea of a technological singularity, where progress driven by ASI becomes explosive, maybe unpredictable, it's mentioned.
And transhumanism, too. Using tech to overcome our biological limits.
Right. Things like gene editing CRISPR, not just for disease, but potentially enhancement. Neural interfaces, brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, to boost cognition, maybe even merge with AI someday. Nanotechnology for medicine, slowing aging.
It gets pretty wild. There's mention of parabiosis, young blood research, cyborg tech, advanced prosthetics, artificial organs.
Brain-computer interfaces for controlling devices, communication, even the idea of full-body replacement, really pushing the boundaries of what human might mean.
And even further out, concepts are touched on. DNA printers, artificial wombs, reviving extinct species.
Creating new life forms, designer humans, it's all floated as possibilities in this technologically advanced future.
It paints a picture where biology itself becomes malleable through technology.
And the ultimate long-term vision, it hints at a society potentially without money.
No money. How?
Extreme abundance, driven by things like nanofactories, molecular assemblers, capable of making almost anything. If goods and services become as essentially free,
Then the focus shifts entirely away from economics towards creativity, social connection, exploration.
that seems to be the utopian end goal presented. A truly transformative outlook.
It certainly is. Wow. Okay, so this deep dive has definitely taken us through a radical, almost dizzying vision for the future, all sparked by that material one of you shared.
And we really hope that as we've unpacked these interconnected ideas, the AI, governance, the post-scarcity economy, the transhumanist threads, you've had some aha moments or at least got a clearer picture.
Yeah, a clearer picture of one possible, very specific future. But it's vital to acknowledge how complex this all is. The debates around ethics, control, what it means to be human, they're massive.
Absolutely. These are the big questions, aren't they? What are the real benefits versus the risks of a world run like this? How does it change freedom, society?
Think of this exploration as just a starting point. Hopefully it gives you fuel for your own thinking, maybe prompts you to look into some of these technologies or ideas more.
So maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. Could this kind of future, this electric technocracy with all its abundance and tech integration, truly be an electronic paradise? Or are there essential human elements, maybe messy, maybe irrational ones, that a system like this, no matter how smart, might just miss?
Something to ponder.